Magandang umaga, Pilipinas. Good morning, everyone. Happy World Teachers Day. Tomorrow, October 5, is the official World Teachers Day, but here in the Philippines, we've been having a month long celebration for all teachers. We are coming to you live via Facebook at Tag Pros Education, where teachers, partners, and friends have gathered virtually to honor the heroes of education. Yes, we are live here on Facebook. Our celebration carries the global theme, the teachers we need for the education we want, irreplaceable guides in an AI powered world. Okay, so let me know where you're coming from. Happy Teachers Day to all our loyal viewers. Every Saturday you're here with us, whether you are on our CPD trainings or whether you're here live. We're just very happy that you are here. I see a lot of familiar faces as well, our colleagues. So thank you so much. We remember those who are affected by the natural calamities that we have, the Typhoon Paulo in central and northern Luzon, Opong, those who are affected by Opong in the Visayas region, of course, by those affected by Taal volcano. So we remember our colleagues who wanted to be here and those who are unable to join us because of the natural calamity. So let's remember them and let's say a little prayer for our colleagues as well. Today we celebrate our educators who remain the heart and soul of learning. This celebration is brought to you by TACPROS Education and Gabay in collaboration with our valued partners and sponsors. PowerMax Center, Wipro Vitres, Page One Group, Filipino American Physician Friends, DepEd NCR, and Philippine Normal University. So a lot of our partners are here. Our partners for our DepEd NCR AI research are also supporting us. PowerMac has given us some exciting prizes as well for this celebration. So we thank our partners and our sponsors for today. Now, because this is a celebration, like what I've said, we have some exciting raffle prizes care of our friend, our partner, and Power Max Center. They have prepared for our teachers watching us live. So, for today, Power Mac will be giving 8,000 pesos worth of gift checks to a number of people. It's not the 8,000 pesos, 8,000 pesos worth. So we'll be raffling 500 and 1,000 gift checks worth in total 8,000 pesos today. You just need to participate. You just need to stay with us from the beginning until the end so that you'll be able to win, to have the chance to be part of the online raffle draw later on. For those who are here, we have a special group of teachers who are here who have been participating to the DepEd National Capital Region AI Research Program that we've been working with everyone. So if you're curious as well, what's the National AI Research? Gabay has worked with Globe, WePress, Page One Group, and the National Physician Group of Filipino Americans. They have worked with Tagpros Education, Gabay, DepEd, National Capital Region, and PNU, and we've been doing a national AI research for those powered by Gabay. So we've been looking at how AI has been helping our teachers. So if you're very interested with that, take a screenshot and let us know. Email us if you want to be part of that national AI research as well. Um, so how do you qualify? Make sure you answer the attendance check-in form. The link is you can see on the screen right now. Take a screenshot so that you are able to get the QR code and the link. Make sure that you answer the attendance form. We will only accept attendance form till 10 a.m. So make sure that you are able to write to answer that form. Our colleagues at behind the scene will be also posting the link on the Facebook comment section as well. So stay with us until our raffle draw later, and we will be announcing live the winners for our Power Mac gift check. So don't leave, baka pangalan nyo na po ang mabunot. So just to introduce myself again, I'm Jim Toscano, and I'll be your guide today. So I'll be hosting and I'll be leading the panel as well, moderating it because we have exciting and amazing experts joining us. All right. Good morning again. Once again, a very good morning to everyone. A big shout out to all our participants joining us from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. We love to know where you're watching from, so please type in the comment section where you're coming from, like what our other colleagues are doing right now. We have teachers coming from Mabacalacat City. Let's fill our live chat with your shoutouts. Maybe let's play a little game. Can you tag and mention your favorite teacher, the teacher who has influenced you so much, or maybe your bestie, your BFF teacher? Please tag them in your so tell us where you are, and then tell us as well who your favorite teacher is, the teacher who made an influence on you, or maybe your BFF teacher na kasama mo pag lunch or kasama mo rin at karamay mo sa hindi lang po chismisan sa pag-solve ng mga problema sa school, pagkwento ng mga success mo and all those kinds of things. So tag them, share them, give them a quick celebration in our chat box. So Cindy Garcia from Davao del Sur. So we have friends from Davao, we have friends from Baguio. Hello, Sir Roel Fersha. You're being tagged by Teacher Ara as well. You're a bestie. You're either a bestie, you're either a favorite teacher, or the most influential teacher. Tarlac State University. I know that there are also future teachers who are here. Some of them were asked by their teachers to join us. Thank you so much for doing that. Every webinar, we have a lot of things to discuss, and I think our future teachers can also benefit. So thank you so much. Teacher Karen says, my favorite teacher is Evangeline Kokal from QC. Okay, so I have friends from Negros, Bacoor, and thank you for tagging your friends, your best friend, your BFF teachers. The teachers have influenced you as well. So thank you so much for doing that. Let's have a quick celebration so that we'll be able to recognize them. Teacher Annalyn says, my favorite teacher is, nawala si Teacher Annalyn, is Miss Bueno. I am from Tarlac Agricultural University. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Ayan. Teacher Trident says, good morning, Sir Jim. Nice to see you again since the innovation seminar from Angeles City. Sir Trident Remolo from ALS. Yes, we have friends from Alternative Learning System. So thank you so much for being here. And dami no, we're celebrating everyone. Okay? Just again to give a special shout out and special recognition to our DepEd National Capital Region here, who are also helping us in our AI research. If you have been teacher participants, thank you so much for spending time to learn more about AI, to practice learning about AI, and to apply and applying them as well. So thank you so much. Teacher Dinosaur is here. A special shout out to Director Marge Ballesteros, Sir Mark Reed, and me, of course. Thank you so much. A lot of our friends are back with us to spend time for this session. And then, of course, shout out as well to our friends and participants from Bulacan State University, one of our Gabay partners, and their students are also with us. Maraming salamat po for being with us today. Okay? So salamat po sa inyong suporta and for your presence. Before we start, just a quick reminder, During the live session, feel free to use the comment section to ask questions, to share your reflection, or simply to let us know your thoughts throughout the session. And a friendly reminder, please practice responsible digital citizenship. Avoid oversharing your personal information in our chat box or in our comment section. And of course, practice respectfulness and etiquette as well when you're sharing your thoughts to us. To officially open our celebration. To officially open our celebration, we are honored to hear from someone who has been a strong supporter, co-founder of education and teachers empowerment. He is the Chief Technology Officer of Tagpros Education. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Boogie Boydon for his welcome remarks.
Muted. Ayan. Everyone, am I live already? Sorry. So magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to all our participants this morning and happy World Teachers Day. Alam nyo, sabi nga ni Jim kanina, dito sa Pilipinas, hindi lang day, we spend a whole month. No? Pero sana parang Pasko din, yung World Teachers o yung Teachers Day month, no, na kumbaga yung Christmas natin, di ba, mula September hanggang January, no? Or maybe it's even better if we have Teachers Day the whole year round, right? Diba? So that every day will be Teachers Day. So napakasaya po namin dito sa Tagpros whenever we see fellow teachers, no, all over the Philippines, and some I think are joining us from abroad. I have a confession to make, no. Actually, kanina umaga nagising ako, I was a bit sluggish and parang wala akong gana, no? In fact, I almost forgot this, no? Buti na lang, maraming salamat kay Teacher Tess, no? For reminding me, bigla akong nagulantang at nagulat, no? But when I came here and I saw what we will be talking about, biglang bumalik sa akin yung feeling of why we are here, no? I've been in academy for 40 years, no? So, uh, nakita ko yung development also those years, no, from the way we were teaching way back then through all those years. But something occurred to me when I was reflecting on that, and I realized that it's not really about the technology. It's not about whatever developments. Those things help us continue to improve the way that we teach, the way that we work. But what's important is to realize our teaching is not driven by any of this technology. Our teaching will always be driven by passion. And that's what we are here for in Tagros Education. We are here because our mission is to help empower you as teachers, to help you become the teachers we need for the education we want. We want you to become the irreplaceable guides in an increasingly technology and even AI powered world. So I invite you to really listen well and learn well from all the uh, webinars or from all the sessions that we will have today, and we hope that you continue to support us as we support you. So, welcome to our sessions for this day. Maraming salamat po.
All right. Thank you so much, Boogie. Teacher Boogie. He's also a teacher, part of the academy for the longest time. Thank you so much. And Boogie is right now. We need to make sure that we keep on celebrating our teachers, the teachers who we want for the education that we want as well. Thank you, Boogie, for welcoming our participants online to this special celebration. Okay, and since this is a national and global celebration of teachers, we are honored as well. There will be some greetings. There will be some greetings who will be from special guests for today. But because we want to make sure that we are ready for the panel discussion, we will have the videos later on. There are special people who would want to greet us as well. But because we want to proceed to the panel for now, we will go to the panel celebration. Now, dear teachers and friends, joining us live on Facebook, we move to the heart of today's celebration, which is a very simple discussion of about teaching, about celebrating teacher and the world that we have today. So, anchored on our theme, the teachers we need for the education we want, irreplaceable guides in an AI powered world. We will be hearing valuable insights from our distinguished panel of educators. To guide us through this meaningful celebration, I will be your moderator for today. But it's also my pride and honor to celebrate and welcome our dear panelists. So let's start off with, of course, all the way from Canada, one of our earliest guests. Let's all welcome Mr. Mark Reed. He's the district resource teacher from Vancouver, Canada, and a colleague and friend of TagPros as well. He's a Global Teacher Prize finalist in 2015, representing Canada for one or maybe the world's largest celebration for teachers and recognition for teachers around the world. Mabuhay, Mark.
Magandang gabi, how are you?
We're good. It's a very sunny day today, at least in Metro Manila. But we're good. We're happy. We're celebrating all our teachers. Nice to have you back, Mark.
Thank you.
All right. And then to introduce our other panel, the members of the panel, we have Dr. Jesusa Bulutano. She's the vice chair of the Curriculum Instruction and Assessment Committee of the Manila Archdiocesan and Parochial Schools Association. She's also the associate professor two of Perpetual Help College Manila and principal of the upcoming Armita Catholic School. So let's all welcome Dr. Jesusa Boletano, or as we lovingly call her, Dr. Susan. Good morning, Dr. Susan. Okay, I hope Dr. Susan will be able to fix as well.
Um, Good
Hi,
morning,
Dr.
everyone. I'm just
Hi.
fixing the video so that I can see you and you can see me also.
Yes, Dr. Susan. Thank you so much. We'll wait for you. Let me just introduce as well our other panelists, Dr. Jocelyn M. Santos, a professor at the College of Education and Director of Research and Innovation Office uh, of the Graduate School Public and head of the public school publication at Bulacan State University at the city of Malolos in the Philippines. Good morning, Dr. Joy.
Hello, good morning, Sir Jim. At sa lahat po and Happy Teacher's Day.
All right. Thank you so much, Doc Joy. And of course, last but not the least, of course, to represent as well the mothers and our colleagues outside the education system, but she's been working with a lot of teachers for the longest time. Miss Maling Raisag, she is the head of training at Basecamp at Power Math Center. So good morning, Miss Maling.
Good morning, Sir Jim. Hello, everyone. Happy Teacher's Day.
All right, so we're a little bit squeezed in. So maybe can we remove the slides? Okay, you're there. Okay, so I see Dr. Susan, I see Dr. Joy, I see Mark all the way from Canada, and then Maleng all the way from Cavite. All right, so good morning, everyone. So let's start with a very quick thoughts, your thoughts about our theme today. So we live in a time when AI. So we're very much aware that AI is everywhere. Automation is everywhere. They're part of education. They have taken their place in the different areas of education. But amid these changes, one question remains: what makes teacher irreplaceable? So I invite as well our participants to answer this question as I wait as we listen to our panelists to give their initial thoughts. So you're free as well to answer. So what makes teacher irreplaceable, dear panelists? Maybe let me hear your thoughts first before we dive in. So I want to start with our early bird, Mark. What makes teachers irreplaceable?
Thanks so much for the question, Jim. What has always been at the center of my teaching practice has been relational pedagogy. The fact that the kids don't care how much we know until they know how much we care. And there will never be a time when any form of AI can meaningfully and authentically actually show care for young people, really for people at any age. And I think what's important as an extension out of that is that we're looking out for our students. We're looking for the adaptations that need to be made based on environmental observations, not just through error detection or remediation loops, not just the intelligence that we add into assessment, but it really comes down to the relational nature of the connection between teachers and students. And it's something that I still use in my teaching practice every day, even though I'm not in front of a classroom of students in a totally different type of job. I still foundationally want to make sure that I feel that there's a natural relational connection to the student, because that's the first, structure through which they're going to start to learn.
All right, thanks, Mark. And I'm taking note, like the rest of our viewers. I'm taking note of the term relational pedagogy. I think there's a resurgence of that phrase right now, especially with the time of AI. Let's pick that up later. Thanks, Mark. Dr. Susan, what makes teacher irreplaceable?
Actually, yes. Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, Dr. Susan.
Okay. So what makes us irreplaceable? Actually, when we try to look at it, teachers are irreplaceable because of our human touch, and we can. It is always our relationship with our students.
All right. Dr. Susan, thank you so much. So pointing as well our capacity to relate with our
Yes.
students as well. Thank you, Dr. Susan. Doc Joy, how about you?
Okay, so thank you for that, Sir Jim. Ano, actually, for me, the role of AI or the role of teacher is really irreplaceable. Whatever technology will come in the future, it will never be replaced by any technology. And AI doesn't change the fundamental truth. While AI can generate an impressive result, education is about more on the process, which requires human guidance. Because we know that AI could only give us the output, pero where the teacher comes from? Teacher comes from in the process on how they're going to improve themselves, how are they going to improve uh, the product expected from them. So AI is merely a tool to help students refine their work. The quality of any output depends on the quality of the students' input and critical thought. So how are we going to ensure that there is quality input for the students that they will enter in AI? That will only come from if they were guided by their teachers on how to use AI responsibly and critically. So what AI cannot do is understand the human context of a classroom, the unique personality of each student, their immediate needs, and their emotions. So a teacher gives personalized feedback based on a deep understanding of students' strengths and weaknesses because we know our students, whereas AI can only provide general observations. So actually, I see this firsthand in my research class. There are some of my students telling me that akala ko madali na ang research dahil may AI. So, the reason my students still find the subject challenging is that I am teaching them how to use AI properly. They are learning that AI is a collaborator, not a replacement of their own intellect. So they know their research topic better than AI. So when you let a machine do your thinking, it provides answers you cannot genuinely explain. So as a teacher, I will not be replaced by AI because my greatest value is in my authenticity. So what do we mean by authenticity? I am authentic teacher, so I'm giving authentic activities in the classroom, so my students are also authentic. So my ability to connect, guide, and inspire real learning. Thank you, Sir
Right.
Jim.
Thanks so much, Doc Joy. I'm picking up the word authenticity. What makes teachers authentic is how we it's the human guidance and the human touch. I think that is really part of what we do, which we believe AI would not be able to do as well. So thank you so much. And we move to Miss Maling. Miss Maling works with a lot of teachers. She was a former teacher as well, at the same school where I'm teaching, and then she moved to supporting teachers as well. So, Miss Maling, from your own experience in the academe and outside the academe as a partner, what do you think makes teachers irreplaceable?
Thank you, Sir Jim. I am also honored to be with all of you, doctors, and of course, Mr. Raid. Thank you for this opportunity. No, so yes, learning that through code or learning versus learning through care. I think that's what really is the essence of learning now or becoming a teacher in this digital age. No, if I may go back to the time when I decided to become a teacher many years ago, I was actually way back in college. I was actually preparing for a course in advertising, but I had this Filipino literature professor who really became my inspiration and made me decide to change my career. Yes, there was no AI at that time, but I don't think I can get that type of inspiration through AI. When I had this teacher who really made a simple literary piece to become a pathway towards connection, encouragement, and making me think in different layers. That was the time that I really felt teacher not just as information provider, but teachers that really is inspirational and great. So I think if teachers continue to become great and inspirational, they will not be replaceable. Thank you, Sir Jim.
All right, thank you, Miss Madeline. Something that I love that you mentioned is the inspiration that teachers bring, or maybe well, of course, bring and share to the students. We have our FB viewers are very participant as well. They're active participants. They have a lot of comments. Let me just pick through. Katrina Ramos says AI can assist, but it can't replace us. It cannot fully grasp the nuances of human experience, our instincts, emotional intelligence, and moral judgment. Technology cannot replace great teachers. Authentic teachers inspire students to know how to learn from Teacher Ivy and Teacher June. So we have a lot of great ideas, initial ideas as well on what makes teachers irreplaceable. Let's focus on what on the human qualities, and I believe we need to discuss this because if you look at how teachers are being prepared, it's all about skills, right? Technical skills for the classroom, knowledge skills for the classroom, and people would say, well, we have hidden curriculum learnings, but most of the time, if this hidden curriculum cannot be found or cannot be discovered, they remain hidden, right? So in preparation, in that line as well, what human qualities do you think teachers can bring, that the technology cannot replicate? You mentioned a lot of them, but let's zoom in. If you were to choose one human quality that remains to be non-technology, what would that be? Mark?
Uh, this is very simple, but it's the way that a teacher can make a student feel. I think about just in the last few minutes, Jim. Uh, there's something very interesting that you were doing, as you would call out someone's name and then read their comment. And somewhere at home, somewhere across 7,000 plus islands at high tide, everyone whose name gets said is thinking, oh my gosh, he said my name. There's something that is very special about the way that we can all make each other feel when we observe and see and show value for the contributions of our students and our colleagues. I don't think we should look at this just as a teacher-student situation with AI, but it's how we can make our colleagues feel too, as we're building creation or connections as a community at our schools, building communities in our classrooms. Here I am, thousands and thousands of kilometers away, and we can still build connections. And it's because we use someone's name and we observe who they are and bring them more closely into the conversation.
Thanks, March. Thanks, Mark. I love that. No, the fact that you can call the name. I'm trying to imagine how, sometimes how AI puts everything together in just simple terms and words. The idea, there's even this idea that AI is making us think in the same way. So it removes that kind of excitement, the kind of individual differences that comes with every one of us. So for example, when I call on Mark or everyone here, they feel excited. In the classroom, when your name is called, either you are happy if you're an honor student, but if you're not an honor student, either you feel nervous or scared, right?
Sir Jim, if I may add, no, I think that's the personalized approach is one thing that, although AI continue to develop and really try to make the algorithms more personal for each one of us, still it cannot equal the personalized approach that a teacher, a human being, can provide. Just preparing your project, for example, inside a class, and the unpredictable interaction that your teacher will provide, it's already enough to make you skip a heartbeat at times. So I think that's important.
Yeah, the fact that when your name is called and all those kinds of things. Yeah, thank you, Miss Maleng. Dr. Susan and Dr. Joy, you're working with future teachers, right? And you're
Yes.
forming them. What quality do you emphasize to them that they should have? Because technology, AI do not have.
Mhm. Ako in my part, Sir Jim, pero I was struck to what you have mentioned a while ago, the hidden curriculum.
I,
So
I believe
does AI still
I believe
a
that
hidden curriculum?
AI cannot replace our love for our students when we show them our love and affection every time we embrace our students. That's the time that they feel that we are really important and we are part of their family. So it is always the love, the care, the affection that we show to our students that makes them really safe. No, they are always longing for our arms to be embraced. They are always longing to be affirmed on everything that they've been doing. So that's one thing that AI cannot really replicate. And I believe that's one of the reasons why I told you a while ago that relationship is very important. But of course, AI or technology is also important for the students to progress. But AI cannot replace our love, the affection, the care that we are giving to our students.
All right. Thank you so much. So Dr. Susan mentioned about affection, the care and love, qualities that the technology cannot replicate for or do for our students. And then Dr. Joy, you were mentioning as well something similar as well to what Dr. Susan was saying. So Dr. Joy, can you also continue with that?
I was telling a while ago, Sir Jim, that I was struck with what you have mentioned about the hidden curriculum. So maybe I could say some of that later. I think the quality, or maybe what I am trying to instill with my students, because they are future teachers, actually, they are already in their final demonstration. What I am always trying to say, to instill with them is the heart of the teacher, the passion for teaching, and the dedication to help students reach their potential. And I am trying to always say that try to see and observe, appreciate the development of your teachers, of your students. When you handle them at the start, and then now they know a lot of things, so that is already an achievement for you. So always feel that you are accomplished, everything that you see improvement with your students. So I think that's for me, Sir Jim, the heart of the teacher, their passion and dedication to help the students improve.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joy. So and Dr. Susan as well. So the care and love, when we look at those two perspectives from our from Dr. Joy and Dr. Susan who work with future teachers, I think it's good to show that the care, the constant care is still there, and then a specific way of showing care and maybe showing relations as well is what Dr. Joy has mentioned a while ago. Teachers are able to see that the progress of a student, right? So I think that's one thing that we should be celebrating as well as teachers. We know who our students are, we know what they can do, we know their areas for improvement. We even know what's happening at home in each with each of them, right? We know how to support them, and I think that's one crucial. If you look at AI discussions right now, Maling is also correct in pointing out that there are ways where AI can personalize things, but they remain to be processes. They
Yeah.
remain to be approaches. It does not. It fails to go beyond that, because in the end the idea of personalization is not just creating a lot of individualized lesson per se, but personalization, like Mark mentioned a while ago, could simply saying the person's name, the student's name. And even when you say the tone, I remember when I was a teacher, I changed the tone, my tone, when I call the names of certain students. When I know that the student is anxiety driven, I personalize my tone, because if say the same way as I say his name the same way as the others, he might feel anxious. So that kind of nuancing, I saw a while ago. I don't know if our dear panelists are looking at the comments. Someone mentioned the word nuances. I think human beings can do that kind. Human teachers can do that nuancing, and then personalizing, quote and unquote, the way we relate. So, Mark, going back to what you've said, the relational pedagogy. Would you want to share more about that?
Yeah, and I find it interesting because I'm watching the comments as they come in, and someone Evelyn has just commented that she's watching from Aklan. That's where my family is from Kalibo. Someone else mentioned that they're watching from Pilar, Sorsogon. I've been there. I've spent time in Sorsogon, so it's interesting to me that there is this natural point of connection with people I've never met, because I've been to the place where they are, which is no different than how we go to the emotional or academic place where the students are. We try to figure out and identify where they're at and what they may need to figure out what's next. And I think as a reasonable companion to relational pedagogy, and especially knowing that we're all trying to be better professionals, we're all trying to improve what the work that we do in our practice. um, what AI can't do, as we've heard, I think Joy mentioned this, can't give students access to the information without some training. They have to understand how to really develop the correct prompt to get the information that they're looking for. And what I find so fascinating is that it took me until my master's degree before I truly understood how to formulate the problem and the question to find the solution to that problem. And it's something that really it's a form of academic research. So imagine what we're doing to our students in K to 12, expecting them to just use AI in some form in their own learning without giving them the amount of context of the world around them, the nuance, the understanding about how to assess or determine the accuracy or value of the information that they're getting. Those are all concepts that we learn in an undergraduate degree, and we really extend as we work towards a master's or doctoral degree. So isn't it fascinating that it's those two things that come together, how we build the relationships with our students, but also how we frame for ourselves the importance of understanding the problem we're actually trying to solve, actually or developing the question we're actually trying to answer.
Thank you, Mark. And I want to echo as well. No, this is very interesting. A lot of our friends, school leaders as well, are in our panel right now watching us. So I have a principal friend, Mr. Lincoln. He's here and he says, I think this is a very good summary of this first question, our thoughts. AI can personalize lessons, generate content, and analyze data, but it cannot build relationships. Relational pedagogy reminds us that the heart of teaching lies not only in the transfer of knowledge, but in the connection between teacher and student. I love this. Thank you so much, Dr. Lincoln, for sharing that. Dr. Samuel as well. Doc Sam Makagba is from CDO, and he's also working with future teachers. He's also a part of academy in the basic education. He says we need to understand that critical thinking and empathy of teachers are something we do not technically train, but it's something that we cultivate through our experiences. I love this because this is like a juxtaposition of how we train AI. Mark mentioned a while ago, like we have been trained to do prompt engineering. We've been trained to add context and everything. Sometimes we spend so much more time adding in context more than asking the proper question. And I think this is one thing that AI cannot do. I don't know if it will become very smart to learn from experience, but this is something that we don't see yet. Moving on, thank you, dear panelists. We were able to engage ourselves and even our participants on that first question. Um, let's look at another side of where teachers where we celebrate teachers. It's on shaping values, building relationship, and even character formation. um let's dig a little deeper here in terms of things that cannot do. Can we be more specific with how AI cannot really form character, with how AI cannot really build relationship? Just to be honest, I'm not quite sure if you've watched, but there are YouTube videos, documentaries that shows AI, that people being in relation with AI. Um, I think this is happening. Mark is smiling because I saw this as a documentary. I think in the United States. I'm not quite sure if it's the United States or Canada, right? So a lot of documentaries showing, number one, there's a platform called Character.ai. You choose a character, it will talk to you or something. You can make it more customized for you. There's another platform that makes you engage in a relationship with AI, whether romantic, friendly. I know there's one, a couple, it's an AI and a person. So you have this kind of, muddy and reality that we have right now. What do you think what can you say about this kinds of relationship, and how can we form our students, that AI cannot do? Mark was smiling a while ago, so I'm pretty sure he has heard of this. So maybe let's start with Mark. Mark, maybe
Yeah,
you can give Maleng, Dr. Susan, and Dr. Joy an idea of what I just shared.
sure. I mean, I think it's about the reality of the experience. What you're describing in an AI relationship is virtual reality. It's a different version of virtual reality, I suppose. Like here I am in Canada. The four of you and everybody watching could put in plenty of comments to tell me what I need to know about Filipino culture and about the various cultural contexts across the country. I live in a place where I'm on the unceded and ancestral territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Indigenous peoples. I can't just read about them in books if I'm to understand about their culture, about their people, about their history, and so I think about the people that I have connections with in the Philippines, who, when I visited there, I'm able to experience the culture And that's what actually helps me know. I can't just go into with a quality AI prompt and say, all right, tell me everything I should know about Filipino culture. It won't be very personally meaningful for me to, to just to read that. But to be there, to be in Naga City with you, Jim, and some of our other colleagues, to connect with a good friend, Dan Osorio and Caloocan, Ryan Homan in Bicol, Venus Albarudo in Surigao. These are all people that, because we spent time together, I feel like I have a better understanding of what it means to be embraced within Filipino culture, within the school system there. Certainly, Dr. Burt at PNU has been very receptive of having me there. And I learn so much about the people that make the system because I've spent time with them and it's been immersive. AI will never be immersive. And we know that even, putting on a virtual reality goggles, that's not real. It's not the actual experience or immersive experience. It can be preparatory. It can help us prepare to learn or prepare to experience, but it's not real. I mean, imagine if the phrase, it's more fun in the Philippines, was seen through an AI lens, not through the actual experience of being there. And you're all there, you all know it. So imagine trying to explain to someone why it's more fun in the Philippines with words only, not a picture, not the sunshine, not the humidity, not the banana leaves, not the coconuts. There's something that's very important about being in that immersive experience with people there.
Thank you so much, Mark. Miss Maling, I want to see from the perspective of Maling, a former teacher, now in a training, but also a mother as well. I know that she's a very active mother in the school. Miss Maling, in your view, how do teachers shape values, relationships, and characters?
Thank you, Sir Jim. Actually, I just going back to the years that I was a student and I was a teacher as well, no? Di ba may favorite teacher ka? Tapos meron
Yeah.
ka ding favorite student. So, yun yung nawawala kapag masyado nating inilalagay lahat sa technology. Kasi I really believe that there should be a balance between technological advancement and human advancement. They should thrive together. People and progress should thrive together. And perhaps the bulk of my experience now is really with training teachers. I really see the difference between training teachers or professional learning development of teachers in the private schools and in the public schools, di ba? No? So magkaiba sila. Ang laki ng gap, ang laki ng mga problems. But even while in the private scenario, we're already talking about infrastructures, AI, pedagogies, and all that. Yung basic pa lang sa public schools, medyo kulang na, no? But they always say, oh, let's try to go to the basic, which is building classroom, for example. Ako, I believe personally na no matter how much budget we put in building the classroom, hindi natin masosolve yung problem ng building the classroom. So, but we need to have virtual classrooms kasi lalaki yung population ng Pilipinas. No? So, I'm sorry if I'm bringing a different topic now, but I really believe...
Effective ka
Yeah,
ba, Miss Maling?
Oo naman. I really believe that we should use AI to advance education in our country. No? So, there should be effective ways of teaching and learning that is also virtual and at the same time immersive, personal. Maybe the technology is not yet there, but with all the advancement happening right now, it will be there. And there will come a time that we will no longer need classrooms, but we need strong internet connectivity, teachers who design lessons or learning experiences that will help students become better persons. No, that's what we wanted at the end of the day, to develop humans through teaching and learning with technology.
All
And yeah,
right. Thank
thank
you,
you.
Smile. That's a very bold idea as well. And if I were to look at what Mark has said a while ago and what you're saying right now, I think we recognize that technology is there. Mark has mentioned a while ago, it will help us begin the learning. It will help us, maybe explore things. And we need the proper infrastructure. And I think right now, we those are the basic things that we have, especially for our dear colleagues as well, because we're not denying as well that technology can help us in a lot of things that we can do. There's still an advantage, but I love what Mark Reed has mentioned as well. In the end, if everything is already there laid out for you, what do you do with it? How do you deepen, right? How do you deepen that learning? How do you deepen that relationship? It's just, in the end, that's what I think that's what matters most as well. How do you deepen the learning? How do you do that? And a lot of us really teach in our pedagogical approaches to deepen the learning. You bring in the real world experience. That's how I would look at it as well. Dr. Susan and Dr. Joy. Maybe let's start with Dr. Joy first.
Oh,
Doc Joy, your how do teachers shape values and relationship? You are in a position where you teach at the same time you train future teachers. If you're discussing teaching them, how do you teach this idea that teachers shape values and relationships and character?
Actually, Sir Jim, I would just like to mention about the relationship of AI with AI. Actually, I was able to watch a movie about a robot designed to be a wife quality, mother quality, kind, loving, caring, all of that. Because that's only one robot that we are programming, Pero this is not the kind of relationship we have in reality. It is a boring relationship. You cannot be this kind of teacher all the time because you have diverse students in the classroom. I am not directly telling them how they're going to shape the values, how they're going to have a good relationship to each other and with their future students. I teach them through experiences, the
yeah.
experiences that I provide for the students both in and out of the classroom lead to important realizations. For example, dealing with group mates, groupings, there are different members and they have different personalities. So in that small group, nagkakaroon na ng mga problems, 'di ba? And they are also facing different teacher personalities and feeling the desire to learn with everyone. So all of these things happen because teacher is present, wherein AI cannot do all the time. When the teacher is already in the classroom, iba yung presence. I was enrolled in an open university. So we know in an open university there is no synchronous discussion like this one. Pero every time my professor scheduled for or invite us for a synchronous meeting, even that we have work, even we have busy, we try to enter in that online classroom because we would like to see, because we know we are studying, because our teachers are modules, we still would like to see our teachers. So that's AI cannot do. AI
Yeah.
doesn't have presence in the classroom that we know teachers could always have.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joy. And the classic teacher's presence will make you feel things. Whether you're happy, you're sad, or whatever, I think that's something. Dr. Susan?
Yes, I would like to go back to what Sir Mark said a while ago, that when he tried to talk to the teacher, he better understand, because it is really important in this technology driven world. We still need to see each other face to face so that we can better understand, and in shaping the values of our student, like we always role model to them, just like what Miss Joy said. I have these students in college, and I have these teachers whom I've been dealing with a lot. And as you can see, every time they will text me, Mom, can I talk to you? can we do it through text, or would you like to have it online? And they will always tell me, Ma'am, it is something personal. I want to see you face to face. Why do they need to see me face to face or see us face to face? Because they wanted to be hugged, they wanted to be affirmed that we are really listening to them. Because, in spite of the fact that technology is all around us, we can never neglect that responsibility of human beings to love, to care, and to let these people, the students, the teachers under our care, to feel that they are safe, because we are there, eye to eye contact with them, and that we are listening attentively and by heart to all of them, because that's what is missing in AI. They do not have this emotion. Palagay ko, Miss Joy, napanood ko rin yung napanood mong movie, and at the end of the movie you will realize na the human beings are still looking for true emotions coming from humans and not just robots. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you,
I'd
Dr.
like
Susan.
to, Sir
Yes,
Jim,
Miss
if I
Marlene.
may add, ang ganda nung sinabi ni Dr. Jesus, no? Di ba teachers are second parents also inside the classroom? And in this age, where mental health is very important, I think that human connection of the teacher remains the most important thing inside the academic world that we have.
Thank you so much. I love that you picked that up, Miss Manning. Mark is raising his finger as
Yeah,
well. So
I
Mark.
just there's something that just as it landed on my ears, I was struck. Teachers as second parents, but parents as the first teachers.
Yeah.
The way that children start to learn is through interaction, and if that is their experience, preparing them for what they will then experience at school, it's really all driven by interaction, and maybe more importantly, through the sort of trial and error of early development, early childhood, we recognize who to go to for what forms of support. And I think that there is an important lesson for uh, children. I don't want to say too young, but maybe into their teenage years, to recognize when is the right time to turn to an AI populated source to gather some information, and then when is it time to work with others, whether it's other students or with teachers or with family or friends, to look at, well, what does this information mean? What's actually here that I want to pull out and make use of? So I'm so happy that Maleng mentioned teachers as second parents, because it works that other way around as well. The familiarity of the interactions that we have as young children, that extends into schools, and that's what we all inherit as our classrooms fill with children. Whatever they've experienced at home, we have to gather that together and work with them.
I love that every one of you is really pointing to the idea or to the reality that our presence, our teachers, really makes the difference and really separates us from AI, which is also interesting because AI is everywhere. So the presence of AI is there. It's always like every time we say something about teaching, AI can actually do it, but we always realize that AI is just at the doorstep, or maybe it's just at the shallow level. So I think I love that because AI can be present anywhere. I'm like, because I remember talking to a group of students. They were like, oh, teacher was not there, so we ask AI about this. I think it's important to what we're doing right now is we're trying to put the nuance as well. We're doing a deep dive on what AI can do. Yes, AI can help. Maybe immediate feedback on whether my idea is right or wrong. But maybe that kind of presence as well that Malang mentioned about, and I think we should remind our teachers and our future teachers, we are considered as the second parents of our students. Nasa batas po yan. It's in the law. So we need to take that seriously. It's a responsibility. It's not just a nice quote that we hear every day, every teacher's day, but it's actually founded on the law as well. So I think that kind of presence, that kind of support, that the whole community, the whole country, the whole world expects of us. So that kind of thing. And I love that we're mentioning those qualities. And Dr. Susan and Dr. Joy really doubled down on the idea of, on the reality of, number one. Dr. Joy mentioned, in the real world, if you don't know how to work with other people, I don't think AI could actually teach you that, because you need to adjust. Like what I've said a while ago, the tone of your voice, even your facial expression. If you cannot control your facial expression, you have to learn how to control. You have to learn when to decide, even if you're correct on what you're saying, on your idea, but you see the other colleagues of yours in your work not taking it well, or maybe affecting, you learn how to let go, and choose to be kind more than be
Yeah.
correct, right? So I love that we're emphasizing that. Just before I dive into more specific classroom examples, I just want to make sure that our teachers are okay in the comment section. They're looking for the attendance link. We showed the attendance link a while ago. So just like in the classroom, attendance is done at the beginning of the class. But don't worry, we don't judge. It's a Saturday. You might be doing something. So the attendance form is in our screen right now. If you scroll up, we're very sorry, but our audience are very active right now. So they're really dumping on their comments on the comment section, so the attendance might not be seen again. Just take a screenshot, okay? Take a screenshot or whatever. But we do have uh, an attendance link which was shown a while ago. So I hope that settles things. For now, we will close the attendance at 10:15 or maybe 10:20. Ayan, para you can check your attendance. Okay? So there just picking up somewhere as well, in the comment section, teacher Jervin says, while AI can process information fast, it lacks the creativity and critical judgment that teachers use when guiding discussions or solving real life problems. It cannot also serve as a role model who demonstrate values, discipline, and character building. Unlike AI, teachers nurture not only the mind but also the heart of learners. Let's pick this up. Um, but that our discussion also emphasizes a lot of expectation for teachers, right? For example, let's look at this quote, which strikes me. It also cannot serve AI. AI cannot serve as a role model. This doubles down on us teachers being role models. I think this is the implication. I want to hear your thoughts about that, because a lot, whether we like it or not, and I want to be realistic, there are teachers you see online or news being bashed for doing this, whether they're correct or not. We see teachers sometimes, um, not being able to conduct the expectations of them, and we get a lot of, a flock of bashing, comments, hurtful comments online. But do you agree as well, now that we're doubling down on what makes teachers irreplaceable, a part of it also requires us to be true to what we want to model. The higher expectation is there's a higher expectation. Let's start with Mark. What are your thoughts
So
about that?
the phrase role model is something that I think we all imagine we just understand. But if you think really carefully about it, it's about modeling roles. And a role essentially is a function in the context of others. So my teaching job is one where I support students that go to work every day in an apprenticeship in construction. And that's how they earn their high school credits. They're also earning a paycheck. They're learning on the job. And so I've actually had some good conversations about this with Mark Rolla, who is becoming a good friend in the Philippines. He works with the Metro Goldrich Construction Company and Metro Delta Foundation. And what he and I have been talking about is this idea that when young people go out to the workforce, they're looking for what role they play in the team. What is their function in that context? And so that's, to me, that's the powerful thing that we can do in the classroom. If the role that we play is to stand and deliver, that is what we're modeling for students, that they need to look for in the real world. Go and find the person who will tell you exactly what to do. But instead, I think the practice that the world over we're all engaging in is to show students that the role that we play for others will change depending on the context, depending on the information, depending on the level of development, social or cognitive development that a young person has. So when I think about my students who aren't in a classroom, but they're out at a construction site, they're being handed tools that they maybe haven't seen before, so they don't know how to use. But they're learning how to use them, and they're watching others. That's that opportunity for observation. And I know of a couple students who have gone home to ask AI questions about why a particular tool is called a particular name. And they're trying to figure out, is this a slang term or is this the technical term? Because they want to be doing a good job. And I think that's what's so impressive about the function that a teacher can play, is when we're showing our students that we really care about the quality of instruction and the quality of the learning experiences we provide, they're going to go out and seek out other people in their career pathways. They're going to find people who can play that similar role, who they can trust to turn to ask for information and coaching and guidance. And they're probably still going to use AI every now and then to answer some questions they're maybe shy to ask. But whether they're on a construction site, they're in medical school, they're attending a PNU campus to get teacher training, it doesn't matter. We have these learning experiences as students in the classroom in high school, and then we decide what we're going to do on our career pathway. So if we're good role models, we're modeling the many roles that people play in each other's lives so that they can go out and do that. And I think that's one of the most exciting parts of my job. It is constantly experiential learning that sometimes gets a little bit of a boost from some AI support.
Thanks, Mark. And I love that you made that very specific example from your own work as well. This is very interesting. Raynan says teachers can think ethically, critically, and responsibly, while AI does not. Remember, great power comes with great responsibility. Speaking of our role models and uh, being irreplaceable, Miss Maleng, Doc Joy, and Doc Susan, do you have any experience or maybe some observation, or maybe some examples, in specific examples where teachers are irreplaceable? Are there moments that you have seen or that you have experienced where you say, this is really the role of the teacher, no one can actually do it? Maybe kay Miss Maleng. Miss Maleng is a mother. I'm pretty sure she's a very active mother as well.
Grabe, mother talaga. Tinatry ko na mag-effort, mukhang dalaga dito eh. Anyway, actually Sir Jim, alam mo, naisip ko lang bigla, di ba yung, if we always say na role model yung teacher, that's because I remember when I was a teacher many, many years ago, I was really trying to do my best to create a very good learning lesson plan delivered in the class. But when I was evaluated by my boss, he focused on classroom management. Para sabi niya, magulo yung class ko, maingay. Parang, I did not, parang hindi naman ako, I did not reply bad, but I acknowledged na dapat sabay, di ba? So it makes becoming a role model teacher not only good in teaching, also good in classroom management, also becoming a good person online, di ba? Tinitignan din yan yung social interactions mo. So sobrang dami nung nasa plato ng isang teacher, a lot of responsibilities. But ako, I really believe that what a teacher should really be is just be a key that can unlock the potential of any student. For example, I have 40 students or 70 sa public school, 70 students yan, no? Naiisa-isa mo pa ba yan? Nakakausap mo pa ba? Nakakaroon ka ba talaga ng interaction within the 40 minutes class that you have? Diba? So, anyway, I remember lang when I was still a teacher, there's this, kasi allergic ako sa chalk eh. Lagi ako nag-alcohol. And there's this student who told me, "Ma'am, you smell so good." Sobrang memorable, no? Years back ngayon, alam mo. And he said after a while, "You smell like a hospital." So, yung personalized na, I don't know kung naging role model ako sa kanya. Na, di ba kasi parang teacher should also smell good and not just teach well. So parang ang dami-dami. So when I left the teaching profession, and of course also as a parent now, no? Kasi sorry, no, as a parent, I have to do the talk. So I allow my kids to really be using technology at an early age. And right now I see the wonders that it has created on their lives, no. They are already into coding, digital arts, and all those stuff, no. Parang they study in a very traditional school. They're doing well in class as well. So I was able to balance yung exposure on technology inside the home, guided by a parent, and at school naman, the traditional way. So they're very comfortable because I in my experience, I really have fear on technology. But when I learned how to use, and the very first Apple that I tried inside Xavier School, in creating a lesson with a drawing, kasi medyo artistic ako, that was life-changing for me, and I shifted my career into teaching. No? So, yun lang. So what I'm saying is, it's really difficult to become a role model, and I'm not a role model as well. Parang the reality of it is, we're just trying to balance everything. But as a teacher, we have a responsibility not to be the best version, but to help each child to unlock their potential and become a better person.
Yeah.
That's what I think, Eugene.
Yeah, I love what Ms. Malang's mentioned. Maybe we're conflating as well role model with the idea of a saint. I don't think we're looking for a perfect person, right? But I think I remember one of the best thing that I've decided to do when I was a young teacher was to admit to my students that I also do commit mistakes. That kind of openness, I and of course I would tell them, I don't feel good about, certain mistakes, quote and unquote, in my life. I'm not happy about them. I'm not happy with the quote unquote bad things that I did when I was young. But the fact that when you are able to share that kind of personal, experiences, that kind of vulnerability as well, I think they get it. I think so, Miss Maling. We know that you're a role model. We're not looking for a perfect one. If we're all perfect, we might be in heaven already. But what we love our human life. We love our life. So I think that's one thing that we need to maybe model as well. Doc Joy and Doc Susan, I think this is a very good discussion. When you're preparing future teachers, what do you teach them about, maybe like becoming a role model, or maybe is it becoming a perfect teacher, or do are we already teaching them about the idea of growth mindset, perseverance, and all those kinds of things? Maybe let's start with Doc Joy, and then Dr. Susan could follow after.
Yes, thank you, Sir Jim. Actually, the role model topic. So, being a role model, I always show to my students how to teach so they can imitate that in the future. Kasi when they realize that they are learning from me, they appreciate my teaching style, they will also imitate that for their students because for them it is effective. So we couldn't now tell to our students na these are the qualities of a teacher to become role model. Being with the students is always letting them experience what you are expecting them to be. So if you are expecting them something that they have to do, you as a teacher, you have to let them experience coming from you. So that is a first-hand experience, and it will really help a lot because there are different realizations. And one thing that I would like to include, Sir Jim, could I answer this one? What I have observed with our schools,
Mm-mm.
that we are thinking that we are not we are irreplaceable role of a teacher, because what I have noticed with my students having no demonstrations, the the consultations with their supervisors, ako a consultation with me as their research teacher, when I received my evaluation of the students, and I would like to thank my batch 2025 because it's outstanding. And when I read their comments, most of the comments are talking about they appreciate the consultation that we are doing every after discussion, that I let them to work on their activities, because we know that they have different locale of the study, different respondents. So how are we going to align what they really want to the reality that they have now? So I think, Sir Jim, that's me being a role teacher and from our university. Thank you po.
Thanks, Doc Joy. Doc Susan?
Yes. Actually, if I will start being, let's say, principal, I would say that it's really indeed very hard, no? Because you cannot give what you do not have. Para bang I have to be a role model to the teachers, telling them that your attendance really matters a lot because we are dealing with the students. That's why, as a role model, I will make it a point that I will come to school every day, not unless there is just an emergency reason, I'm sick or what, because I wanted to let the teachers know that I am with you. If your class is 7 a.m., I will be there by 7 a.m. because I wanted to explore the first morning of the day with you. And that is for me role modeling. As far as my students are concerned, I will always be telling them, like for instance, in research, the data gathering and the analysis, I will tell them, use AI as long as you want, but never forget that do not be afraid to commit mistakes because through your mistakes you will learn a lot. So I am role modeling the sincerity in me as far as being an administrator is concerned, that I am sincere in our mission for Catholic school. I am sincere that I am one with you in molding these students entrusted to us by God. And for my students, I am role modeling to them the value of humility, that we are not perfect. This AI, this technology is here. They will support us, but we must admit that we are not perfect human being, and that we are prone to commit mistakes, and these mistakes will make us a better person in the future. Because for me, being a teacher, it is our mission, a mission that AI does not have, because we have this human touch, we have the love, we have the care, and we have the affection. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Susan, and the motherly qualities of of Dr. Susan is showing through, coming through the screen, and I love that. I love that. I've worked with Dr. Susan, and I think one of her best qualities is really that motherly care, that care and compassion, and the humility. We're now down to our last discussion, without denying the fact, because our theme for today is actually, it stems from the UNESCO's bigger theme as well. But we're not also denying the fact that AI has found its way in our school. It has become a regular part. Maybe quickly, if there's one thing that you would want teachers to learn, to know about AI, and to mastering them, what would this be? I'm pretty sure our a lot of our teachers right now here are thinking, how can I become a better teacher with AI? How can AI also help me with my work? If there's one thing that you would want them to learn, what would it be? Let's start with Miss Maling, being from the tech training, education training as well. What's one thing that you would want the teachers to learn about AI?
I want teachers to really expose themselves on all technology. So, for example, top three AIs, di ba? ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, all of these are important information kasi you don't like to be left behind when your students are already way, way beyond. Parang they really understand and they know everything. It's not just because you want to be at the same level with them, but you want to speak with the same language to be able to connect to them well. Your purpose is always to be able to connect with your students, and that's why very very important you the willingness to be open-minded, to continue learning, to be transformative, and to engage in ways na hindi part nung pinag-aralan mo when you were still in college. A lot of new things are happening right now. Even if you close your doors and windows to technology, parang baha lang yan, papasok at papasok sa loob ng bahay mo. It will always come knocking at your door. So as not to rush yourself into learning all these things, might as well take every small bits of information, small bite size of learning, learn from superior teachers, learn online, do everything that you can to empower yourself, to build yourself, and always make sure that the values and integrity is always there, because we don't want a technology that is only excellent but has no value, diba? That's the worst thing that can happen. We want to build we are in the business as teachers and educators, we are in the business of building people. So you can imagine the power in our hands to really make sure that we build future citizens of this world that have a heart, no? That hindi lang marunong mag-code, mag-AI, marunong ding magmahal, umunawa, at to connect with different types of people along the way as they journey this digital economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Maling. Well said on that area. Doc Joy.
Yes, Sir Jim. Actually, Sir Jim, I don't want to give my comments straightly to the teachers or uh, on how they're going to use AI or what's the best AI to use. Kasi first, school should embrace the integration of AI into the curriculum. They must create clear guidelines for its possible, responsible, ethical, and principled use. So integrating AI into the classroom is not easy. So teachers must plan carefully. If teachers are not trained to use AI in their teaching, it will not be effective for the students. AI at our university, for example, our team developed the IUS framework, the artificial intelligence utilization scale in research writing, which has 5 different levels. So yung levels po namin, like level 1, no AI, level of use is 0% AI, level 2 is AI idea generation, then level 3, AI editing assistance, level 4, AI task completion, and level 5, full AI collaboration. So every time I give an assignment, I specify the permitted level from the framework for that particular activity. So I hope that the school institutions support their teachers and students in the use of AI. The use of AI should not be part of the hidden curriculum. It should be written in the guidelines, syllabus, curriculum guide, and lesson plan. So that's for me, Sir Jim.
I loved what you said, Doc Joy. It's really not just leaving things to the teachers, the decision, but also the support of institutions. And it's not just the tool itself; it's it's a curriculum AI program that goes for the students and the teachers. If we really want to prepare them, it's a very systematic, systemic way of looking at it. Thanks, Doc Joy. Dr. Susan, what are your thoughts about preparing our teachers for AI?
Yes, I agree with Miss Joy that it is not just the teachers to be prepared, but the administrators as well. Yes, Miss Joy is right. The ethical standards must be ready. We cannot erase, delete AI anymore. Lumalago na siya. We have to embrace these changes. But sabi nga ni Miss Maleng, yung integridad in using these tools that will help us improve the teaching learning. Likewise, to our students as well, we have to give them the right training that they still have to use their critical thinking skills in using this AI in their everyday study. So, with that, let us embrace the change, but let's put that integrity above everything else. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Susan, and integrity above everything. That's a very timely reminder right now. Integrity above everything. Very timely and very helpful. Not just in the AI
Yeah.
discussion, not it's just in the education, but really it's really for all of us. Mark Reed, maybe the last thoughts as well for this as we end our discussion.
Yeah. What what strikes me as the most important thing that we do in our job as a teacher is that we're planning for the student, we're planning for the learner, we're thinking about how we're going to sequence the learning so that it's effective and that they can build on prior experiences, all things that we learn about in our teacher training programs as an undergraduate. But what strikes me as being really important in the context of AI is that two people I've mentioned earlier. Dan Osorio is a PSDS in Caloocan. Mark Rolla works in construction. In both of those contexts, there's really important work to be done in helping other people determine what the sequencing of the task or the sequencing of the learning is going to look like. We as teachers, we're all supervised. We have someone who is there to provide mentorship, to help encourage accountability, so that we're all working for the same ultimate goals in the system. And what I think strikes me as being critical here for our own development is that we need to recognize that students are going to go out into the world. Some of them will become teachers. They will go to work in some sort of career pathway. But if I go to work in construction, there's all kinds of things I don't know. I'm learning on the job. I need someone there to tell me this is the next step to take. These are the tools to use to take that next step. I can't ask AI for that information. But what I could ask AI to do is help me understand how to break down that step. I know what I need to achieve next. How can I break that down? When a supervisor is working to coach and mentor an early career teacher, even a veteran teacher who's struggling maybe with a new circumstance or with a different type of class or learner than they've had before, sometimes we need someone to point out, here's the thing that from my outside perspective, here's the thing to do next. Here's that next step. Many of us use a GPS to get from one place to another. In fact, when I was in the Philippines, I was fascinated with how many people use Waze to get around. I love using it. I use it here in Canada. And that is essentially that helpful voice to tell us this is the next step to take. I have to observe the situation. I have to figure out how I'm going to take that step. If I get to an intersection and a road is closed, I can't keep going. And maybe the GPS doesn't know that. So I've got to figure out what's the alternative step that I can take to still get to that same destination. I just think it's important that we think about that in our own context in schools, that we're learning as much as our students are, but they're also going to go out to work someday, and they're going to provide or receive mentorship, and hopefully ultimately provide mentorship to others. And the more that we're able to identify the right time to grab that AI tool and make use of it, to help figure out, what's that alternative step or way to get to where I want to go. All of these things are all tied together, and is that balance between the art and science of what we do in education.
I love your final imagery of how AI can help us. It's like Waze or maybe your GPS. It might know everything, but they might not be updated with the real context of what's happening. Like your favorite police officer might be there, or your or there might be a crash somewhere, and those are not there. But because we understand context, we make the final decision whether to follow or not. I love that imagery, and I think that's a good way to end our discussion on the role of teachers at this time around of AI. Maybe just a quick. Are there any questions from our chat box? I can read some of the insights. Teacher Josephine Kanya says, "Couldn't agree more, Sir Mark. We need someone to help or support us. Ika nga, no man is an island." Okay. For those asking the link, we have closed the attendance link because we will use that for the raffle later on. But for those who would want a certificate, we will be sending out later an evaluation form. So the evaluation form will be the basis for your free certificate, because our dear panelist has prepared a 20-page essay test. Just kidding. For you to answer to measure your learning. No, just kidding. Okay. So from teacher Derek, adapt AI to help us, not to replace us. Okay. Are there any questions? Aside from, can we request QR code and how to register? Are there any questions from our dear participants? Um, there are a lot of insights. So for our dear panelists, maybe you can do a quick um team replay thing, and see the comments. I'm not quite sure if our partners are seeing it, but there are a lot of insights, and I cannot read all of them, but our audience are very engaged. So again, thank you so much, our dear panelists. I don't think we have questions here. A lot of thank yous. On the other hand, is what we see in our chat box. So thank you so much, Miss Maleng, for sharing your insight. A former educator, now still working as an educator, just through training teachers with technology. Doc Joy, who's doing a lot of teacher preparation, a lot of work, dedicated head and director, preparing for that for preparing the teachers. A shout out to Dr. and her community. They've been working with us on training and AI for their future teachers, and using the BI as well. So, thank you so much, Doc Joy. Doc Susan, thank you so much as well for bringing in. I love working with Dr. Susan. I've always reminded to be compassionate, humble, and caring. Good luck to the upcoming opening of the new school,
Yeah.
Ermita Catholic School. So good luck on that. Another another role added to you, and of course to our dear friend Mark Reed, who has been with us since we began our online webinars in the pandemic at Tagpros Education. So, Mark, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for always being generous in sharing your thoughts and experiences.
Walang
So there,
anuman.
yes. All right. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to our dear audience for being active right now. I think they're very excited to look at to win some Power Mac gift checks. So, all right, that's I think we can proceed with that. Again, thank you, Mark, Dr. Jesus, Dr. Joy, and Miss Madeng. A great morning to all of you, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Sir June.
All right, just a quick synthesis of what happened. We had a very good panel discussion, very active, very insightful as well. We know that teachers are irreplaceable, but we are also reminded on what makes us irreplaceable. Uh, Sorry, apologies for that. We are reminded to maybe look into and practice relational pedagogy. We're reminded of our inner qualities like humility, care, compassion. We're also reminded of our role as second parents. Those are great reminders from our panelists, and I hope we could consider them. We will prepare ourselves. We will learn more about AI, but we need to be honest and remind ourselves that there are things that AI cannot do. Our panelists, wonderful panelists, has reminded all of us of those qualities that we might not be able to learn simply by stepping inside an education institution, a teacher education institution. But a lot of these things could be acquired, learned through our experiences in the classroom with our students. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for that. So may I ask the technical team, are we ready for the raffle? All right. Okay. So before we do our closing, our closing remarks by our CEO Christian Manansala, we will be raffling 8 winners of 500 pesos worth of gift checks from PowerMax. So 8 winners. Each winner will have 500 pesos gift check, and then 4 winners of 1,000 pesos worth of gift checks from PowerMax. So we will be getting 12 winners, 500 pesos, 8 winners of 500 pesos gift check, and then 4 winners of 1,000 pesos. All right. So, how do we do this? Are we ready? I think they're preparing for the wheel of names thing for the raffle. We will be when your name is chosen, our staff will be contacting you via the email that you've sent, and then we will share with you the logistics of how to receive your your um your your gift check. So let's just wait. Are we all ready? Okay. Okay. We have a special message. First, let's play first a special message. We have a special message from our dear friend, Director Margarita Consolacion Ballesteros, one of our partners and colleagues supporting us in our work here at Tagpros Education. So I think we can play that first.
Everyone, happy International, or shall I say, Happy World Teachers Day. As we celebrate Teachers Day here in the Philippines and World Teachers Day worldwide, we are reminded of a profound truth. Teachers are irreplaceable. In our time, we see technology advancing at an incredible speed. AI is now present in our schools, and it can generate information, solve equations at an instant, and even simulate conversations. But amidst these innovations, one question must be asked. Can AI replace a teacher? To the organizers, the Tag Pros, the education team, those in Washington, D.C. with Sir Christian, and that of the Philippine team, we welcome you in this morning's celebration, not just reminiscing the past for those who were awarded as global teachers or as national winners, as outstanding teachers, I'd like to extend my hi and hellos to Mark Reed of the Global Teacher Prize from Canada, and of course, our very own, our first Global Teacher Prize finalist all the way from Abra, Jim Toscano, and the rest of the Philippine Global Teacher Prize. The question is also asked, not just for us in the education sector, but to all of us, to Dr. Venus, Dr. Ensalada, Ryan Homan, Michelle Rubio, all the rest. What's the answer? Can AI replace a teacher? From my end, I would say no. AI can process data, but it cannot form character. It can give answers at an instant, but it cannot teach values. It can provide knowledge, but it cannot nurture wisdom. AI can assist in the classroom, but it cannot look into the eyes of a child and see that potential or hold the hand of a struggling learner and say, kaya mo yan, you can do it. Only a teacher can do that. Teacher brings not only knowledge, but also human presence, the smile that encourages, the patience that heals, the discipline that molds, and the love that inspires. In a world of machines, it is the teacher's heart that gives education its soul. That is why today, dear teachers, wherever you are around the globe, whether you are in that corner of New Mexico, or whether you are in Bogota, Colombia, or you are in the farthest island of Peru, or here in the Philippines, in that small island in Cebu. Today, we honor you, our dear teachers. You are more than transmitters of lessons. You are shapers of dreams, builders of character, and companions in the lifelong journey of learning. Technology we know can assist, but it will never replace, and it can never replace the warmth, the wisdom, and the witness of a teacher. As we move towards in this era of artificial intelligence, let us not be afraid. Instead, let us embrace technology as a tool while remembering that the most powerful tool in education has always been and will always be the teacher's heart. Happy World Teachers Day. Happy National Teachers Day to our dear teachers in the Philippines and in the world. Maraming salamat po, and may God continue to bless everyone of us in this noble mission. Thank you, Tag Bros, for the invitation. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.
All right. Thank you so much, Director March. It's a wonderful message, reminding us as well of why we're here and what we're celebrating. Okay. Thank you so much. And we hope to have Dr. March in our panel next time. All right. So I think we're ready as well. Can we show? Okay. All right. We have almost 1,000 people who registered in our attendance a while ago. So make sure that you are present here. If you have been chosen, give a quick shout out to all of us. You need to be present right now to make sure that you won. All right. So it will be hard for us to do that, but we trust your honesty as well. So let's start. Let's choose the 8 people who would win 5,000 pesos worth of Power Mac. So thank you to Power Mac Incorporated, Power Mac, who's been our partner as well for their generosity. You can use the Power Mac gift check to buy any product in a Power Mac store as well. So please make sure that you remember that. Okay. So let's start. Let's choose the first name. The first winner of 5,000 gift check from Power Mac. All right. Mr. June H. Baita. Mr. June H. Baita, you're the first winner. So maybe let's have a screenshot ready by our technical team. Please take a screenshot. Not 5,000 po, 500. 500 worth. 500 worth of gift check. So 8 winners. Okay? So Mr. June Baita is our winner. Second winner of 500 gift check. Ayan, mag-manifest na daw po lahat. Manifesting. Okay, our second winner is Teacher Raimar L. Asil. Teacher Raimar L. Asil, you're the second winner of 500 pesos of Power Mac gift check. Right. Let's have our third winner. Our third winner is Teacher Michelle Jean P. Apuya. Teacher Michelle Jean P. Apuya. Okay. All right. Apologies if I said 5,000. It's 500 worth. 500 worth of gift check. Our fourth winner is Teacher Jennifer C. Villagracia. Ayan, Teacher Jennifer C. Villagracia, you're our fourth winner of 500 pesos worth of Power Mac gift check. The fifth winner, is Teacher Angelo Garrett Lanner. Teacher Angelo Garrett Lanner, you're the fifth winner of 500 pesos worth of Power Mac gift check. And then we have three more 500 winners of 500 pesos gift check. Our sixth winner is Teacher Abigail E. Atendido. Teacher Abigail E. Atendido, you're our sixth winner. Thank you so much. Let's have the seventh winner. For those asking for the certificate and evaluation form, we will show them when we end our webinar. Teacher Loida G. Sokito, you're our seventh winner. Teacher Loida G. Sokito, you're our seventh winner of 500 pesos worth of gift check. And last winner for 500 gift check, Maria Luisa V. Caliena. Maria Luisa V. Caliena, you're our eighth winner of the 500 peso gift check. Now, we need 4 winners of 1,000 pesos gift check. Ayan, kung may gusto ko yung bilhin sa Power Mac, you have 1,000 pesos worth gift check. Okay, our first 1,000 pesos winner gift check. Yan, palong-palo daw, Romeline. Annalyn L. Mansan. Teacher Annalyn L. Mansan, you're our first winner of 1,000 gift check from Power Mac. Teacher Annalyn L. Mansan. So, mag-ready na kayo at hanapin ang pinakamalapit na Power Mac store sa inyo. I heard they have 100 plus stores na. Yan, around the Philippines. Second, winner of 1,000 pesos, Teacher Ferlin May Castro. Teacher Ferlin May Castro. Okay, 1,000 pesos gift check. You are our second winner. 2 more. Yan, pag nanalo daw si teacher dyan, magpapakain siya sa buong barangay. Okay. Teacher Josie C. Luna. Teacher Josie C. Luna, third winner of 1,000 peso. Yan, paldong-paldo si Teacher Reynan. 1 more winner, our last winner. Thank you, Power Mac, again for your generosity sponsorship for today's celebration. Teacher Blessy J. Alvarado. Teacher Blessy J. Alvarado, you're our last winner of 1,000 pesos worth of Power Mac gift check. So what's gonna happen? Our team will be emailing you for the instructions on how to claim your prizes as well. Thank you so much, Teacher Marks. Medyo huli na po tayo. Pag ako nanalo, ipasa ko na lahat ng estudyante ko. Medyo mahina po ang dasal ng mga estudyante mo, Teacher Marks. But here's the thing, we have a surprise. In the next webinars, Power Mac has also extended its generosity. So watch out for our webinars, watch out for our CPD trainings. In each of those events, Power Mac has generously extended their generosity as well, and they will be choosing which of these webinars and CPD trainings will have raffles. So if you join our upcoming webinars this October's and CPD trainings, you will not just gonna learn, you're also gonna have the chance to win gift check. So thank you so much, everyone. Okay, Teacher Marks, wag mo namang ibagsak ang mga students mo. May next time pa po. So, thank you so much, everyone. We're very much happy that you're welcome here, that you're here with us. So, to give us a closing remarks before we proceed to the evaluation, to officially close our World Teachers Day online celebration, let me proudly introduce again someone familiar to you, our closing speaker. He is the Chief Executive Officer and the co-founder of TagPros Education. Let's all welcome Mr. Christian S. Manansala.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat at Happy Teachers Month. Ako po si Christian Manansala, Chief Executive Officer ng TagPros Education. Mula po rito sa Virginia, dito po sa Estados Unidos. As we close this World Teachers Month culmination, I would like to thank all of you, our Gabay-powered research partners, our sponsors, our school leaders, our teachers. I also would like to thank, again, all of our educators who have joined us in our previous webinars during the past few years. And of course, for being here today, listening to all our inspiring speakers. I now invite you to continue this journey with us in our PRC accredited CPD trainings on various topics such as pedagogy, classroom management, emerging technologies, and especially artificial intelligence. These are not just certifications. They are tools to re-equip us as educators, parents, and leaders in our communities. Sa pagsasara po ng ating pagdiriwang ngayon, alam nating malaki ang mga hamon ng ating bayan. Katiwalian, kalamidad, at kahirapan. Huwag po tayong panghihinaan ng loob. Hindi po tayo susuko. Kasama po kami sa inyong pakikibaka at paglaban. Hindi tayo mawawala ng pag-asa. Bagkus, tayo ang liwanag at pag-asa ng ating bayan. Lagi po ninyong tatandaan, tayo po ang gabay ng ating mga estudyante, tayo po ang gabay ng Pilipinas, tayo po ang gabay ng mga Pilipino. At sa ating pagpapatuloy na paggamit ng gabay, mas lalo po nating mapapalakas ang ating pagtuturo, ang ating mga komunidad, at mapapabuti po natin ang kinabukasan ng ating bayan. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. Marami pong salamat.
All right, thank you so much, Chris, for that wonderful closing remarks. We're all experiencing a lot of challenges right now, but we continue to celebrate our teachers. We honor our teachers. You are our heroes without capes. And we continue. Hopefully, it's not just today or tomorrow that we celebrate the Teachers' Day. Every day should be Teachers' Day. So, kayo po ang aming ang aming mga bayani. Salamat po. We are all here together to celebrate you. And to finally end our discussions, chill lang kayo mga teachers. Okay, so finally, ayan na. Here is our evaluation. So you will get your digital certificate. I think our team have already made sure that you will get your e-certificate, automated it. So once you're able to answer this, you'll be able to receive your certificate within the day or maybe just after this. Make sure, just a reminder, a lot of our teachers do not receive their certificate because mali po yung spelling. Tapos minsan mali din po yung pangalan na nilalagay natin. So wag muna tayong magmadali. I-check po natin ng maayos ang ating pangalan, yung complete name, tapos yung email kung saan isa-send. Please make sure that all of those things are written well, written correctly, so that you'll be able to receive the digital certificate. So this serves as your official evaluation, and this serves as well as your gateway to your digital certificate. So make sure that you answer them, and make sure that you greet all your teachers out there, your fellow teachers, yourself. I know that a lot of our teachers have celebrated the Teachers' Day yesterday. To our some of our public school colleagues have celebrated. Some of the private schools, teachers in private schools have done it as well. So thank you so much. Some are celebrating on Monday. Thank you so much. Whether you're in basic ed, whether you're in higher education, whether you're out of the formal structures of teaching, or doing trainings as well, we are all teachers. Thank you so much for the hard work. We at TagPros Education appreciate you. We cannot thank you enough. You remain to be the foundation of our society. Without teachers, no society could be founded on strong foundation. So thank you so much again, teachers. The QR code will be shown here for 10 minutes until 11:20. So I want to say thank you again. I want to say goodbye for now. But don't worry, the program evaluation QR code will still be up for 10 minutes so that you can answer. The link is already being posted as well. The link has been posted on the comment section, but a lot of you are saying your thank you message. So please scroll lang ng kaunti, have a little patience to scroll up. It's already there. Okay? So thank you so much as well for those who have joined us from other parts of the world. Thank you for being here. Again, this is Jim Toscano, and happy Teachers' Day to everyone, and have a great weekend.